Hi, this is Sherry at the Intentional Home Podcast, where I share tips and resources to help you live with intention and purpose. This is episode number 35, and today we are going to be continuing on in our Countdown to Christmas series that I started several weeks ago. This series is put together to help you get prepared for the holidays by doing a little bit each week leading up to Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's hard to believe that it's time to begin thinking about that again, but it is, and before we know it, Thanksgiving is going to be here, and then shortly after that, Christmas. So we want to do all we can to make these holidays meaningful and special, and to make sure that we're putting the focus on the right things as we celebrate the holidays with our families. Now, if you have not had a chance to purchase your own copy of my 12-week holiday planner, you can go to sherrygraham.com/holiday planner, and that will just take you right to the page where you can grab your own copy. You can still follow along with these weekly to-do lists, but the holiday planner has much more information, forms and recipes and activities, all kinds of things that can hopefully help you as you prepare for the holidays. And I also want to mention before I get into this week's to-do list is I have a holiday ebook bundle that it's just all of my holiday ebooks bundled together. And some of the things in that bundle, there's a 30-day Thanksgiving journal, which is just a fun little journal that you can work through, your kids could work through during the month of November. There's a Celebrating This Season ebook, which is kind of a lot of different things. There's everything from copy work to craft ideas, activities, Christmas unit study ideas, recipes, lots and lots of fun things in there. And then there's our Christmas journal, and this is a fun notebook type thing that you can print out, and you can use it as a guide to plan your Christmas season. Sometimes those of us that homeschool, sometimes December can be a challenge because we're trying to keep up with our homeschooling and doing Christmas stuff and activities. This is a fun little guide that will help you plot out your days where you can plan in some of that fun stuff, still plan in some learning activities, and have a fun way to document your whole holiday experience as a family. So you can check that one out. Another ebook that's in this bundle is A Season for Giving, and this is just a fun ebook full of gift ideas that you can make and give to other people. There's printables, there's craft ideas, some recipes for like foods that you could make and give away. So it's just, if you want to focus on giving to other people, this is a fun little ebook that you can use to give you some ideas. Another one is my Homemade Gift Mixes ebook, and this one is just full of food mixes that you can make and give away. Things like, cakes in a jar and soups in a jar and, things like that you can put together that make great gifts. And the last one is the Christmas Cookie Plates project. And this one is a fun one. You begin right after Thanksgiving, and it gives you detailed plans of how to make 30 cookie plates that you can give away to your family, to friends, to neighbors, to people around your community. And each week it gives you recipes, it gives you grocery lists for what you need to get to create all these recipes to make cookies, and just kind of spells it all out for you and makes it a fun family project that you can do between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So if you want some more holiday ideas and just some more fun things to think about, check out that holiday bundle, and you can get that at sherrygraham.com/holidays. All right, let's get into this week's to-do list. We are on our week number 5. This is our gift making week. So this week we're going to be tackling some big items. I know the list is kind of short, but they're very important items and they may take a little bit of time. So I want you to take a look at this list for today and see what you can knock out this week. So the first item on your list is homemade gifts. Now, if you have decided to make some homemade gifts, hopefully you have already kind of started on some of those, but if you have not, this is the week to really buckle down and focus your energies on trying to complete as many of those homemade gifts as you can. Now, there may be some things that you've started and you just know that it's just not coming together, it's just not working, it's going to take forever. So if you've got some of those projects going too, maybe you need to go ahead and just set those aside and choose a different gift to get that person. Maybe instead of making something, maybe figure out something you could buy for them instead. But look at the gifts that you're making. If your kids are making gifts for family members, this is also the week to go ahead and work with them and try to get those gifts wrapped up. And if you cannot get them finished, some projects are going to take longer to finish. But if you are not able to get them finished this week, put a plan in place on your calendar to set aside time to get those things done as soon as possible. So that's the first item on your list, is getting those homemade gifts taken care of. The next item is your Christmas letter. Now, a lot of people send out Christmas cards or Christmas postcards, and sometimes we also like to put a Christmas letter in that kind of updates what's been going on with our family for the past year, gives an update on the kids, maybe stick some pictures, family pictures in there. If you like to do a Christmas newsletter type thing, then this is the week to get that written. If you have the holiday planner, there are some stationery pages in there that you can use if you want to. But you can either type it, you could handwrite it, and then make copies of it to put in your newsletter, however you want to do it. But get that Christmas letter drafted out and get it written so it's all ready. Go ahead and make copies of it, figure out how many you're going to be sending out in your Christmas cards, get them all ready to fold and to put in those Christmas cards. So that's the second item. The third item on your list for this week is family photos. Now, this is a little bit different. If you want to do a holiday or a Christmas family picture, then that is something a little bit separate that you may want to get scheduled on your calendar to get that done, especially if you want to include it in your Christmas card, or if you do the Christmas postcards that are like photo cards and you want to do a family picture for that. Get that time set up to get that done as soon as possible. But if you just want to go through, the past year and pick out some family pictures that you want to include either in your newsletter or included in your Christmas cards, then get that done. Get those photos gathered, get prints made if you need to do that, and get those all ready to go in your Christmas cards. That leads us into the last item on our list for this week, and it is your Christmas card list. Now, you're going to finalize your Christmas card list. Make sure you have everybody on there that you want to send a card to, and then you're going to go ahead and prepare the cards and your Christmas newsletters for mailing. So that means that you're going to go ahead and write in the cards. If you want to write a personalized note in the card, you're going to address the envelopes or print out mailing labels if you do that. What I usually do is I have a Word document that has labels set up, formatted on the page for me, and I just have all of the people that we send Christmas cards to entered into that document with their names and addresses. So I can easily go in, I can edit the addresses if something changes, or I can add another person if if there's someone new I want to add on to our Christmas card list. But then each year, then I just go out and print out my pages of labels, and then I can just stick those on my card envelopes. But however you want to do it, if you handwrite out your cards, the envelopes, you can do that too. But get them addressed, and it depends on if you want to put stamps on it or not. Christmas cards can be kind of interesting, especially if you have cards that are odd sizes. You may actually have to pay a little bit more for postage if they're a little bit large. Also, if you're going to be including newsletters or pictures, you'll want to make sure that you have those cards weighed to make sure that they're not overweight. But if you're pretty sure that maybe you just have a newsletter with maybe a picture, then you're probably good to go ahead and just put one stamp on it. So you can go ahead and get your cards written out, get them addressed, get the envelopes addressed, get the stamps on them, get the newsletters the Christmas letter that you typed up or written out, get copies made of that and get those folded and in the cards. One thing I do is if I get them all ready ahead of time, sometimes I will not seal them shut until I know for sure that I'm done. Because there's been a few times where I decided, I wanted to stick another picture in, and then they're open still if I want to do that. So get them all ready. You're going to get them ready to mail. And like I said, if you want to leave them open and not sealed shut, you can wait until you actually get ready to go to the post office if you want to seal them shut, just to make sure. So that was our last item for this week. I know there's kind of some big stuff on here, so go ahead and try to work away at as many of these things as you can get done this week. And you're going to be so thankful as you get ready for, as you get closer and closer to the holiday, to Thanksgiving and closer to Christmas. You're going to be so thankful that you have these things done ahead of time. And, you're going to have your cards all ready to go. And all you're going to have to do is just grab them and go take them to the post office whenever it's time actually to mail out those cards. You're going to have them all done. So I hope these weekly to-do lists are encouraging you to get going and to get some of these things done. Don't beat yourself up if you don't get every single thing done on these lists. Again, give yourself grace and just realize that those things that you do get done ahead of time is just one more thing that you will not be having to do later on. So each little bit that you can do now is going to be a big blessing. So I am looking forward to keeping going each week as we walk through the holiday planner. And again, if you want to pick up your own copy of the planner, you can do that at sherrygraham.com/holiday planner. Thank you again so much for joining me here at the Intentional Home Podcast. If you want to subscribe, all you have to do is search for Intentional Home Podcast in iTunes or your favorite podcast player, and it should pop up and you can subscribe. If you want more information about my podcast, to see all the show notes with links to all the resources I've mentioned, just go to my podcast page at sherrygraham.com/podcast. Thanks and have a wonderful day.